Such was the decree of Roman law between the 2nd and 4th century A.D. This strict rule about how corpses were to be disposed of was imposed on all residents of Rome. Most Romans were pagan and preferred to be cremated. Their ashes were stored in small urns above ground, but the ancient Christians and Jews of Rome insisted on burial of their dead. Wealthy citizens had lined the roads just outside the city with family tombs. These tombs were called catacombas, which is Greek for at the hollows. The name came from the natural hollow spaces that lined the Via Appia, one of the ancient roads that led to and from Rome. Into these hollow spaces, the first Christian cemetery was built above ground. It is from these early catacombas that the catacombs of Rome evolved. The principal Jewish catacombs are Via Torlonia to the north and Via Rondinini, which lies under the road called Via Appia Antica, site of the original catacombas burial places. Although they may predate the Christian catacombs, the story the Jewish catacombs tell is timeless. The symbols which embellish the walls and ceiling show that, like their Christian counterparts, they mixed popular culture, such as figures from Greek and Roman mythology, with menorahs and other ancient symbols of Judaism.
The decoration.
This 6th century altar, now in ruins, was used by the cult of martyrs. More clues about these early practices come from nearby paintings.
The paintings in the catacombs give us some of our best clues to what early Christian practice really was. And you have pictures of mixed groups of people sitting around tables, drinking wine, and eating bread. And this was a very touchingly simple kind of a ceremony.
Scholars believe that this simple communal meal is an image of the Good Shepherd.
The Good Shepherd can be understood in a sense as an image of Christ that reflects if he described himself as the Good Shepherd. And the use of the Good Shepherd in the Christian catacomb is a way of depicting Christ without actually portraying him.
The early Christians freely adopted Greek and Roman symbols and mythology for inspiration in the catacombs. Many walls depict Hercules, the great mythological hero who was famous for his courage and strength. Here, Hercules is killing the multi-headed Hydra of Lerna, which could grow 2 new heads for each one it lost. This tomb is called the Crypt of the Coopers, so named because these ancient coopers, or barrel makers, were entombed behind a painting that depicts a group of men posed with one of their barrels.
For example, Jonah, in the 3 basic things, he sees the whale, he gets swallowed by it, and then he's spit out into the ocean. That's a very common scene, and it is, of course, clear reference to
the biblical story of Daniel in the lion's den is represented by a nude person standing between 2 lions. The ancient Christians believe Daniel conquered this danger with prayer. Of the imperial Roman art that was created above ground would probably call these works naive or haphazard.
and Moses figures very highly. In the Jewish non-Christian catacombs, the scenes are gods and goddesses. A catacomb is not something original on the part of the Christians.
The Middle Ages saw the catacombs visited by the thoughtful and the destructive. But who were these people? The images on the walls of Via Latina tell their story. These fragments from an ancient culture preserve for us the beliefs of a simpler time. To look upon these walls is to look deep into the past. The symbolic painted figures. Walls also depict the image of sailors buried here. Perhaps these hardy souls manned the vessels that...
There was an immediacy to their faith that is not to be found very often in people's religious beliefs today.
Intrigue and lust for power shaped the world of the 3rd century BC, the world into which Hannibal was born. His home was the legendary city on the coast of present-day Tunisia, Carthage. Beginning of Carthage. There is a grain of truth in the legend. The Carthaginians were descendants of the Phoenicians, a people who lived on the coast of Lebanon. The world owes them a groundbreaking invention, the forerunner of the Western alphabet. The Phoenicians also brought their religion from the Middle East. They worshipped gods like Baal-Hamon and Tanit, to whom they made human sacrifices.
Is a triumphal arch dedicated to an emperor who came to power in 193 AD. His name was Septimus Severus. His period of office was a significant event in Roman history, though perhaps not for his achievements when in power. The importance of Septimius Severus lay in his background. Born in Lepcis Magna, in present-day Libya, he was the first African to attain the highest position in the Roman Empire. The achievement of Septimius Severus should not be regarded as unusual. A feature of the Roman occupation was that it provided opportunities for native Africans to become as successful and wealthy as the Roman colonists. That she caused the emperor embarrassment and had to be sent home to Africa. Despite this, Severus's political achievements were supreme, as were his tremendous building projects.